Hi, I am Jessica Urenco. I am going to be your family counselor. I am a graduate student at Widener University in their Masters of Social Work program. Before we go any further, there's a couple things that I want to discuss. First of all, is confidentiality. Um, our sessions are totally confidential, with the exception that if anyone shared during the sessions or discussed any type of child abuse or neglect, that would be something that I would absolutely have to report because I am a mandated reporter. Also, if anybody shared with me that they were in crisis and were considering hurting themselves in any way, that would be something that would extend the abilities for us to work with right within this session. Not saying that moving forward we couldn't still practice together, but we would need to have a crisis intervention at that point, and that would need I would need to break confidentiality for that. Um, I'd also like to talk about some guidelines before we move forward. First of all, if we could do our best to really listen to one another without interruptions. And sometimes it gets really difficult because we're hearing somebody discuss something and we're not agreeing with what they have to say about it, or they have a completely different perspective, and our emotions sometimes really take over. But if you could really try to use as much self control to allow that person to share their side of things, their story, and then you will have the opportunity to kind of share your feelings on that as well. So we're really going to try to focus as much as we can on feelings rather than looking to see who can we blame for the issues that we're having within the family. And that's going to be my role. My role is going to be an objective navigator through this process to try to really enhance and utilize some tools to have the best communication so that we could really hear each other and understand each other a little bit better. So as we begin, the first thing I would like for you to do is introduce yourself to me, just to make sure I'm pronouncing everyone's name right, to make sure I have all the ages correct. And if you could just share with me one goal that you have for family session. You could take a minute to think about that. Maybe you're thinking, I didn't even want to be here, but you are here. So let's try to make the best out of it, and share with me, and I'll try to focus in on that goal, and we'll start from there. Okay, this will be the beginning of the second segment. Linda and Jack, that's going to be the mom and dad, have been arguing in regards to the housework and the duties within the home. Linda, rather than focusing on the specific things that Jack hasn't done that you're feeling disappointed about, can you share with me some of the feelings that you have regarding that? I'm hearing that it seems like you're feeling kind of overwhelmed. If you could just kind of expand on that a little bit so that Jack has a better understanding, not just for the things like a tally of things that you feel like haven't been done, but if you could share a little bit more about what you need from him and some of your feelings, I think that would really help us to move forward. And Jack, if you could just share how you feel knowing that this is how Linda feels. What are some of your feelings after hearing what she has to say? Okay. So this will be the beginning of the third segment. And I will be assigning homework to the family at this point and talking and kind of wrapping things up. Okay, so I feel like you guys all did an excellent job. You really were able to listen to one another, and it seemed like you really heard each other. You were able to get a lot of information, and you might be able to move forward with that. That would be fantastic. So I'm going to assign some homework to see if you could apply some of these skills and communications activities that we've done today. So the first thing I want you to do is together come up with a time, 30 minutes, just one 30-minute segment in the next week where you can decide collectively on one activity to do together as a family. And it's just 30 minutes. So it could be something as absolutely simple as watching one sitcom together, but you need to do it from its entirety. So no getting up and getting on your phone or whatever. You need to be engaged with one another. And then Another example would be a game night. Pick one game to play, 30 minutes, go for a walk, go for a hike. You guys get to decide. So that's something that you'll need to communicate with each other and come to a collective decision on and do a 30-minute activity. Okay, that's homework assignment number 1. So since this is the first week, I'm going to kind of give you some extra to work on. Homework assignment number 2 is I want you to come up with one household chore that you could commit to doing every week. Okay. And I'm not even going to have you necessarily start it even this week if you haven't been doing it already, but come up with something that you can dedicate time to each and every week, whether it's walking the dogs, whether it's unloading the dishwasher every day. And I want you to discuss it as a family, what needs to be done and what is one thing that you each could commit to. And we'll build from there. Okay, great. I think you guys did a great job this week, and I look forward to hearing how your homework goes next week. Okay, have a good night.